Hi guys, welcome to Netgate Chemistry. So in the previous video of quantum chemistry, we were discussing about the operators, and we have already studied what are operators and what are some of its properties. So now continuing with the operators, we are going to study some more properties of the operators. So now the next property which we are going to study says that to every observable in classical mechanics, what the observables which we will be having in classical mechanics, that is to every observable in the classical mechanics there will be a operator there will be an operator in quantum mechanics. Okay, to every observable in classical mechanics we will be having an operator in quantum mechanics. For example, we are discussing about the position. Position is an observable which we discuss as x, y, or z. So for that we use the operator x, y, z. So for positions we use these operators. Second is potential energy, which we represent as capital V. So if we are representing potential along x-axis, then that will be Vx, along y-axis it will be Vy, and along z-axis it will be Vz. So their corresponding operators will be Vx cap, Vy cap, and Vz cap. Right? Now, third observable is linear momentum. So in classical mechanics we show linear momentum by small p, which is equals to m into v, mass into velocity. If the linear momentum we are talking about is along the x-axis, so we represent it like this, m into vx. If it is along y-axis, then py will be equal to m into vy. If it is along z-axis, then it will be pz is equals to m into vz. So these are the observables. So their corresponding operators will be px cap, py cap, and pz cap, and they have some corresponding values. Px cap equals to iota h cross del by del x. Py is minus iota h cross del by del y. Pz is minus iota h cross del by del z. So these are the corresponding linear momentum operators. Now if we talk about kinetic energy, then in classical mechanics we represent kinetic energy as p square by 2m. So the corresponding operator, suppose kinetic energy we are representing by capital T. So the corresponding operator will be represented by T. If it is along x-axis, so it will be Tx cap, and it will be represented by px square cap by 2m. Now here we can put the value of px, right? We know value of px is minus iota h cross del by del x. So tx will be minus iota h cross del by del x whole square divided by 2m. Now one thing you should remember is that iota square is always equals to minus 1. Okay. Now tx will be equal to minus iota square h cross square by 2m del square by del x square. Now iota square is minus 1. So minus 1 into minus, so that will be plus. So it will be h cross square by 2m del square by del x square. So this is the operator for kinetic energy along x axis. Right? Now we are done with potential energy, we are done with kinetic energy. Now if we want to find out the total energy, then total energy equals to, if it is represented by capital E, then total energy is always equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Now E is here total energy, and for total energy we use operator H cap, right? This is called as Hamiltonian operator. Right, for corresponding total energy which we observe in classical mechanics, we have an operator H cap which we call as Hamiltonian operator. So that will be equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So kinetic energy is represented like this plus potential energy like this. Right, these are the operators for kinetic and potential energies respectively. Now we are going to put the values for these two. So this value we have found here, that is h cross square by 2m del square by del x square plus v. Now what we also have to understand is that here what I have written is only along the x-axis, but when we are talking about total energy, so we are going to talk about kinetic energy along x, y and z axis. So this is not going to give us the full value of Hamiltonian. So what we have to do is, if this is Tx, then we know what will be corresponding Ty and Tz. So overall Hamiltonian will be Tx plus Ty plus Tz. This is total of kinetic energy plus the potential energy. Right? Now Hamiltonian will be equal to minus h cross square by 2m del square by del x square plus h cross square by 2m del square by del y square plus h cross square by 2m del square by del z square plus v. Now in these three I can take out h cross square by 2m common. So we are left with del square by del x square plus del square by del y square plus del square by del z square plus v. Now this whole bracket is represented by this. Okay, so Hamiltonian will come out to be h cross square by 2m del square plus v. So this is the overall Hamiltonian. Okay, where the value of this del square is this whole bracket, that is del square by del x square, del square by del y square plus del square by del z square. So this is the overall Hamiltonian operator. So what you can see is that this is an operator. So operator is always operated over any function. So suppose the function on which we are going to operate this Hamiltonian is psi. Suppose this is a function, psi is a function. So now we are going to operate this Hamiltonian over any function psi. So when we are going to operate this over any function, this Hamiltonian when gets operated on any function, it will give us a value E psi. So this corresponding value will give us the value of total energy. This is how we can find out the total energy. If we have a wave function and we are going to apply Hamiltonian operator on that function, then the corresponding value will be giving us the energy after solving. If we separate out the wave function, then the value other than the wave function will be giving us the value of energy that we will understand once we are going to solve the questions. So this is all about the observables which we have in classical mechanics and their corresponding operators which we have in quantum mechanics. So now in the next video, we are going to talk about the commutator operator. This is a special type of an operator, and after that we will be discussing about the Hermitian operators. So in the next video, our topic will be the commutator operator. So I hope this video was helpful for you. So far that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.